Oh, look at that, right on time too. Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the Rational Investors Top 100 Crypto Review! Cool name, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I asked Ben if he had any thoughts about changing the name. He's like, nah, it works. What the hell? So I guess by all means, if you have a better name for maybe in the comments, we can drum up some interaction with our viewers. Maybe we'll do something like a raffle for this coming school term, and maybe the admission for the raffle is a name for the show. I don't know. Who knows? Something like that. Anyway, I don't know how to do this, but I was thinking about it. I haven't done my partners in crime here justice. I think you all kind of know who I am, but I don't think we've really formally introduced the gang here, and we don't actually have them on screen. Like, I've got their cameras on. In fact, actually, they're seeing just a blank image. It should have on me. Hey, guys. So at least now they can see me when we're talking together, but you guys don't get to see them. But having said that, I think I would love to actually start tonight with just an opportunity for each one of you to just introduce yourself to the YouTube verse, and I suppose TRI verse. I'm sure most TRIers know who you are, but introduce yourself to the YouTube verse, and I don't know, add something that you would like the people to know. So. Why don't we go top to bottom? Ben, you hit us up here first this evening. You're right on out of the queue. Why don't you say hello? Take a moment, say hello to these good people, and just tell them a little bit of something. Oh, did he just disappear? Well,
Got scared.
Yeah, he bailed.
Uh-oh.
That's funny. I'm sure he'll be back. All right, so hot seat victim number one. This is an easy way for me to get rid of my co-host. Okay, let's try Derek. Derek, you got the floor.
Hey, so my name is Derek. Also known as D-Born on the site, and I came to TRI. I'm in level 2. And I came to TRI through a YouTube at actually DaVinci. I started watching some of his videos, and I had tried trading and stuff like that before, and I just really didn't have a method. So when I came, I kind of learned the basics in level 1, and it's been awesome. And kind of fell into this opportunity, but just kind of wanting to jump in and help. I've been around crypto since 2017. So I was for that last run I was there, and I'm just like a lot of other people. I accumulated a lot, or actually put in very little. It grew to a lot, and then I gave it all back. So that's what kind of got me looking at this sort of a method and that type of thing. I've always seen the value in investing, but I didn't really know how to necessarily, right? And so that's what this is pretty much teaching me in terms of like being involved in TRI, and being able, hopefully I can contribute to the community. It's a great community. There's a lot going on here, and yeah, so I'm just trying to learn as much about investing as I can. Brian seems to be a great teacher and mentor, ton of experience in the market, and that's another thing that attracted me. A lot of his Sunday broiler chicken shows and giving out history and knowledge and that type of thing, and I learned a lot of things that I had never knew anything about. So
there's one guy who's written like
and moving on. So thanks.
There's one guy on that broiler chicken show. He's literally written like a whole user's manual on how to trade. Isn't that's so cool? So, and I suppose that's karma. I hope everybody understands. We're not. There's no shill in this show. This isn't brought to anybody. I mean, hell, if you feel like it, we'd love to get a place in Decentraland going. So I do have like an Ether wallet there. If you want to make a donation, awesome. So we can get a little TRI cubicle there, a piece of land on Decentraland. But other than that, I mean, it's not really like we're selling anything here. It's hopefully just a few guys just, talking. I think we all pretty much have a nice passion for this crypto, which is kind of cool. And I think that comes across in how we speak. So I do like that. All right, Derek. All right. Ben's still gone, eh? We got Nick here. So Nick, you got the floor. Tell the good people a little bit about yourself. Maybe Ben will come back. Who knows?
Sure. My name's Nick. I go by Hard Made Easy both on TRI's site and on YouTube. Big into gaming, speedrunning. I streamed on Twitch for a few years in there. Got into crypto just January of this year. Like December of 2020, I think the only cryptocurrency I knew of was Bitcoin. And January, I found out about ETH, and then I went down just a huge rabbit hole. And I've been kind of every spare second I have. I'm kind of in it for the tech now. Obviously, the money's nice too, but I like a lot of the use cases. I like what it'll do, I think, over the next decade. Made some lucky choices this winter and spring, but I suppose it was kind of hard not to make money the last few months. And I figured if I wanted to keep it, I should probably learn how. So I had found Colin and Messi over at Hero Labs, and Colin referred me over to TRI, and I'm a level 1er now.
Right on. Yeah, in fact, there's another gentleman in the in our little room that we set up on Rocket Chat. He's also in the level 1 program, so maybe the two of you can work together. AJ, I think his name is. So I don't know whether you've seen him in class or not, but hopefully, 1 + 1 = 3. If anything, have you gotten to meet Bugra yet?
I have not. I have not grabbed a beer with Kevin either. So.
Oh, okay, Kevin, come on, gotta get Kevin off his butt there. You guys
we'll do
are
it.
all
I think it's my fault so far.
Well, you're all down in Albuquerque, so I joke with Kevin. I think prior to knowing him, I think I heard maybe the Albuquerque reference 10 times, of course, because of Bugs Bunny. And now I swear I got like 10 different people all from Albuquerque, and it's like, wow, that's got to be karmic. I have a funny feeling I am supposed to go to Albuquerque. But I'd love to come in. That would be cool to do a meetup in Albuquerque. That would be trippy, man.
It's a fun place. It's much nicer than I thought it would be. I wasn't really looking forward to moving here, but I love it.
Excellent. That's cool. Awesome. Okay, so clearly Ben got the willies, so maybe we'll give him an opportunity next episode to introduce himself, and you guys get to know him. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I suppose he's down in southern Florida, so that's I don't know. Maybe they're having internet issues there. And speaking of which, I'm wondering, have either of you been watching the Atlantic Ocean, or is there any sort of hint of the hurricane season starting up yet?
I'm not sure.
I guess Albuquerque, you're nowhere near the ocean. Sorry about that, but
yeah, I actually live on the East Coast in Maryland.
Yeah,
I live in Maryland, but I haven't heard.
My mother my grandmother, she lived in Annapolis. So
I live about 20 miles from there.
Right
15,
on.
20 minutes. Yep.
Oh, wow. Remember in the early 1970s there was a tornado that ripped through there, and I remember the only memory I have is running down the street completely out of control, and of course my parents freaking out because they thought the tornado was going to take me away. That's a long time ago. Anyway, so have you heard of any sort of, because that I'm really wondering, like crude oil and energy prices are still pressing higher, and I'm wondering whether they're starting to freak out and see whether there's going to be a whole string of tornado or hurricanes. That's what I'm thinking.
No, I haven't heard anything about hurricanes this year yet.
No?
The summer's definitely here, though.
Yeah, holy moly. I'm up here in northern northwest, and I've never seen the weather as hot as I've seen here locally in 30 years that I've lived here. So get ready, east, because usually this weather goes from west to east, so it's coming your direction. Get ready. Woo-wee, it's hot here. And I've got the air conditioner on right now. It's so hot, but the heat wave's already broken, Brian's still running the air conditioner. Alright. Okay, so, not quite sure what happened to Ben, but, slow and steady wins the race. I guess we'll press on. I wouldn't mind actually maybe... Hey, there he is! Hey! He lives! Good timing. Oh, just snuck in. Okay. So I don't know whether you can chat or not, but we gave Derek and Nick the opportunity to just say hello to the audience, and we did lose you just as I was leading you in. So I don't know. Do you have a moment just to say hello?
I thought I got away with it.
Yeah. You got back. So maybe just tell
All
the
right.
audience a little bit about who you are, and why you're involved in this crazy crypto space.
Yeah, so my name's Ben, and I first found out about crypto in 2017. My boss walked up to me and said, "Hey, do you know anything about this Bitcoin thing?" And all I knew was like, yeah, criminals use it. It's nerd money. A couple of like things I'd seen in the media, and that sent me on a 3-month not sleeping at nighttime every night, just trying to figure out what it was, and it's pretty addictive. And I went down the rabbit hole pretty hard. And then it started putting money into it, made some money, lost a ton of money, and then went through. I stuck at it. I still thought it was really interesting. I thought it was going to change the world. Had some really cool things about it that I saw. I think this is the future, and there's still some really exciting stories about it, and I'm really interested in it. So I stuck around, and that's when eventually I got led to find Brian and his community, the Rational Investor, through a YouTuber, DaVinci J15, that I'd watched. And for the first time, I was able to really, I guess, approach the idea of putting my money into cryptocurrencies with a greatly reduced level of stress and anxiety, going into it with a plan, and kind of knowing what I'm going to do beforehand. And I was one of the people who just mined the Sunday broiler chicken show. There's just so much value in there each week,
Fantastic.
just to digest. So I just found it incredible. And if anybody's listening and maybe you're not part of the community yet, I encourage you just to listen to that. And I know sometimes Brian double guesses himself whether he should be doing or not, but I mean it's made a world of a difference for me, and I'm sure my family in the future. And so keep at it, man. It's really good stuff, and anybody listening, just get into it, and it's really good. Put it into practice.
Right on. I asked him to tell you guys a little bit about himself, and he gives me a sales pitch. Okay.
Way to bring it home, Ben. I like that.
Well, I'll sign up. Yeah. Great. And no, that wasn't prompted. There'll be people on YouTube that will literally go, "Oh yeah, you totally got him to say that. Yeah, I bet you totally paid him." You know, that kind of shit. So anyway, I hopefully that came across as heartfelt, and no, it wasn't scripted. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And if anything, that's sort of the part of why we're doing this Wednesday show, right? Is we're not really out to sell something here. If we can make a positive difference in the world, then we win. And if you need help, right? I mean, the whole ironic. I think I had said this earlier. There's one gentleman on the YouTube page. The guy's so smart. He literally wrote like a whole fucking trading manual just watching the shows, which is awesome. You know, that's great. But if you need help, right, then that's where we do have a product that I think really helps people. And actually, as Ben just said there, he was the only one that said it, but really that's what it all comes down to, is that just dealing with the stress of, have I made a half-decent decision here? I bet a lot of people that come into sort of the crypto space and don't understand charts and that kind of stuff, they probably just like hold their nose and go, okay, hit the buy button, let's see what happens, kind of idea. They haven't got a fucking clue what's going to happen, eh? So, I don't know. Maybe you guys can even attest to that. Like, before you looked at a chart, before you what would you do? Would you go to like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and just, look at that like 1 day chart and make your big investment decision based on what that's doing or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I first got involved, it was kind of during the ICO rage. So it was like you listen to somebody on YouTube, they talk about a project, they talk about a project, then you go put a couple of dollars, you put a couple of dollars down, then you pick up, I don't know, 3 times your money and then walk, go away or whatever. So
it was just almost too easy, eh?
It was too easy. It got you sort of in a daze, right?
Yeah.
Now it's not like that every day. It's not like that, in general. So.
Well, and I kind of saw that start to develop here this past spring and winter and spring, where people were almost getting lulled into that. This is just nice and easy money and just ringing the register, no problem. I think the market actually just wised people up there a little bit, so that's kind of good. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, we've got a whole bunch of coins we want to look at. Ideally, we'd like to do maybe somewhere around 10 coins. We never know. Problem is, half the time Brian talks way too much. These guys all seem to think that there's some value in it, so sorry if we only do 7. I'm just gonna do what I do. We'll try our best, and we're not really professionals. We're just, 4 guys here just talking crypto, and we'll just give you our 2 cents. I mean, that's what this show is all about. So, if anything, I like it because there's no bullshit. It's just a few guys just talking charts. All right, so we have that nice little spreadsheet that we're working away on. If you guys want to through the week do anything that you think might actually like improve the spreadsheet or anything along those lines, feel free to add. I've just been sort of hacking my way. I think you can see on the YouTube page, this is our sort of makeshift little tracking system. You can see we've come along here quite nicely, and it's fascinating. And should we get rid of this price column because these prices aren't relevant now, are they? Didn't you guys say that?
No, they're pretty far off.
Yeah, so we could get rid of that column if you want, guys. Whoever's driving the bus here.
I mean, I would definitely sell my ETH at 2,700 right now.
Yeah,
that seems like a good price to get for it.
Well, that'd be ironic if next week it's like 4 or 5 grand, eh? Just goes to show, man. Try not to. God, I keep telling people this, but they just don't get it. Like I'm not in the business of making predictions. And I wouldn't suggest any of you get into the business of making predictions because it's a mug's game. I've never seen anybody do well at it. Anyway, I was kind of hoping that would work, but that kind of looks messy, doesn't it? Oh well. Okay, so that didn't work. Anyway, you guys try and figure out how we can get rid of that price, or maybe even update. Ben, didn't you say that you could, there's like a little thing that we could actually, like Google Finance, don't they do a thing where we can inject prices in here?
Yeah, I can inject it with, I think CoinMarketCap even has one, so.
Yeah, I know, this is a spreadsheet that I built years ago, actually not years ago, probably about a year or 2 ago. I know I could get like Litecoin here, and ETH and Bitcoin, their prices. It's a bit tricky, but I'm not quite sure about the lower tier coins. And if we can't, we should probably just get rid of it. So anybody who wants to volunteer to take on that job, go for it. I'll more than happily endorse that for you. What I did notice is as I was going through a lot of these charts, we had kind of talked about would W's come in, and it's really cool. Like last week, we were contemplating whether the cake and all the pancake swap and all that crap, whether they would accept into value here. And it was fascinating to watch the battle that developed through here. I think that the market tried desperately to hold on to value high here. But then, have you guys been feeling this sort of, I don't know whether I would say it's feel the heat, but Binance, man, somebody is coming after Binance hard here now. I don't know whether you guys are seeing that or not. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we looked at this last week, and this thing was tipping over, but son of a bitch, man, sure looks like this thing wants to bottom here. And I put a tweet out just sort of asking. Remember, this is the one we can't. We have to look at it somewhere else, don't we? I don't know. You get interrupt me here, somebody. Like, what's the skinny on the street with regard to how Binance is doing with their DeSci? Did you guys watch the congressional stuff today?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. How about you, Nick? Nick, did you?
No, I was at work. I was gonna go watch it back this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And did
I don't
you,
know what I think. I don't know what I think about it though. It seemed like they were just trying to. I mean, obviously they want to regulate, but it did seem like they were asking some decent questions. I didn't get the feeling that they were like really against it necessarily, but it almost felt like it was really exploratory, trying to figure out what to do. Like,
Okay.
I almost don't like that talk but when they do start talking like talking about protecting investors and that type of thing. I mean, I guess I get it, but there's also there's a part of me as an investor. When I look at things, I've always been the type of person to accept sort of my decision, right? My action causes a reaction, and I accept that. And I don't necessarily think I need people to protect me from something that I want to do. It almost feels like control. So I understand for the broader market that might not be the case, but when I hear people talk about regulation, it kind of I don't necessarily like that. The way
Yeah.
they want to regulate, because I think it turns into control.
Yeah. I wonder how much of their conversation is being driven by that Mark Cuban guy and the pain that he just went through. So, yeah, I just found it interesting that we were looking at this last week. I actually think somebody purposely tried to point the media and point the negative attention at Binance recently. It just felt like that. I think Binance kind of just shrugged it off and didn't give a shit. But I do see like now, like my country, for example, big part of my country is now you can't go and do business on Binance. And I had to warn the boys, since we do have a Canadian arm, that I had to shut down the Canadian operation of Binance, and I just can't do anything there. And it wouldn't surprise me if one of these days in the not too distant future I just can't log on to that site anymore. I was a bit surprised by that. Anyway, I suppose all of you guys down in the States, none of you use Binance anyway, right? You've all been told you're not allowed to play there, right?
I mean, we've got our Binance US, but yeah, the BSC, the whole smart chain, we can't. Well, not supposed to use.
Yeah. Okay. And you're not breaking any laws. You're being very good citizens, aren't you all? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Of course.
Yes, you are.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that Binance is not one you want to play with. They'll cut you off. So yeah, I pulled coins out of there back in, I don't know, it was wintertime when they gave the last warning.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're just probably safe than sorry. It sucks, but like I said, and Stewart, of course, he's Mr. Computer Guy on the site, so he got the job of having to liquidate all the fractional positions and move all the coins. Thank you, Stewart, if you're watching. Hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay. We're probably going to see a lot of reoccurring themes. Like I said, as we were going through these names, I did see a lot of names that were kind of like, they're trying to bottom, we're getting close. And now actually there are a few names that have actually gone and W'd. So I feel like we're getting closer to some sort of turn here. All right, so where should we start? Should we start with this maker MKR? Is that where we are? Where are we?
That's where we are.
Okay. So where do you guys want me to look at this thing?
I mean, it's been around since I think 2017. I think it was the first kind of borrow lending platform that was out there in DeFi. But it's probably more famous for the fact that it created the DAI stablecoin.
Okay, so where would you suggest that I look at this?
I don't know. Binance might have good history.
Oh, okay. Somebody did on the site earlier today. I thought that was an interesting suggestion. What did you guys make out of that? Said there's a website that we should probably look at that'll have like all the data.
Yes, it's nice, but it's outside of TradingView, so you can't be logged into your account. So then you lose all your templates, so you can't actually quickly chart up with all your different fib templates and stuff. You'd have to redo all of that.
What was it? What site was it? Or-
I think it's just a totally different site. So is this place here?
Oh, okay.
Boom. Charts.cointrader.pro charts HTML Dogecoin. Dog
Okay.
money, dog money, dog money.
Yeah, I mean, they have some of the more, I guess coins that are on smaller exchanges. So that, I mean,
All
I think
right,
I've taken a
so
look at some stuff.
if we go MKR here, what should we look at? They got coin market cap. That's interesting. Should we hit that? Oh, look at that. They got the whole Uniswap and everything, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Maker is a lending platform.
Yeah. That's,
Um,
yeah. Tell me which button should I push here, gentlemen?
Let's go. Those are small exchanges, though. Those are like, I mean, just I guess go something dollar. Go dollar. We've been doing mostly everything in dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. MKR. BTC USD on coin market cap. Boom. There we go. All right. Oh, look at that. Lots of sexy data.
Yeah, it's got good history, but
Yeah, if anything, Ben, you are pro at this. What just actually is pretty close, eh? But not totally solid. But what's kind of happening here? What do we call that again? Ooh, bang, ouch. Ooh, bang, ouch. What do we call that?
Starts with a W.
Derek. Derek's a level 2er, so now he's like fucking all OG.
No, not quite. I'm
It's
just
all
trying to have
good.
some
It's all
fun.
good. You remember Ben? The Wyckoff check?
Sorry, yeah, the Wyckoff check.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of what's happening here. You know, it's so cliche that after a while, you know, we kind of discount it. But a lot of new people to trading. I was kind of, you know, I was musing about this earlier. What does like a brand new person, like what on earth do they, you know, it must be just so overwhelming to hear people talk about stocks and bonds and crypto and all that, and like how do you come up with levels? Just think of this way, right? Think of this as like some, you know, and we'll just imaginary line over here, but just think of this. Oh, I guess we can't. That's stupid. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it'll only go there, eh? Ah, fudge. Let's see if I can go like that. Like that? No, come on, you. Come on, you. All right, there we go. That's okay. Think of this as just a big W. I mean, it's kind of sloppy, but it is a W. So in essence, all this is doing is just coming back down and just checking the original W. Markets do that a lot. You could also argue too that, you know, originally we like to say that institutions put in tops. Of course, public buys tops. So some sort of institutional, I mean, you know, it could have been like a whale in the space, whatever. But somebody put a top in that market there. And then you notice like something great fundamentally happened that, hey, everybody's opinion just changed. Whoops. I can't turn that around. Oh, well. Nope. Same direction. Okay, let's try that again. You know who's really good at the arrows is Kieran. Hey, on the Daily Briefs. He's just wicked with them. Hey, you see that? I don't know that you guys see that in the on Tuesdays on his Daily Briefs. They're awesome. Anyway, point here is market broke through that level and actually had a hell of a fight here. Then you can see it jumped up again. Look how it came back again at that level right there. And then again right at that level. And then again. So clearly this is a pretty darn important level. And you can do this on almost any asset. Just trying to see, you know, where you know, this is what they would call resistance turn support. Kind of cool. I guess a lot of these kind of DeFi names, like I said, I did not like what I heard out of that congressional testimony today about DeFi. They were making reference a lot to it, and it was getting a little concerning, you know, some of the references that they were making. I didn't like what I heard at all. But we'll see. You know, you guys are eternally optimistic. I would just simply say that this really isn't a quote-unquote buy in my eyes until it actually can get on the other side of that trend line. So this thing's got a lot of time and space to work with. My hunch is this probably isn't going to get resolved. You know, maybe it does something like that. This isn't going to get resolved until probably the fall. And we've been sort of talking about that. I think I see a lot of that in the market right now. Where, we've been straight down. It's been, one hell of a dump. You can see we've come back against horizontal support and resistance now. Ironically enough, we could actually even think of things like heads and shoulders as this. Hopefully you can see that kind of looks like a head and shoulders. So we'll see how this goes. There's that trend line. That trend line should stop the market. As we said, if this is really a buy, we're going to break through that trend line. And often that's violent and ugly, and often we have to walk down the other side of the trend line. But it'll be a buy when we can put in a W on the other side of this trend line. So it's got a bit of work. And as I said, probably most likely, you can kind of see head and shoulders easy. This also, too, notice it went up. Ben, maybe you could throw yourself on mute there, Slick. I'd appreciate it. And you can kind of see how there's like a real war through here, right? So lots of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's a tough area right in there. And what do you think the odds are? And let's see, I'll do a poll of my audience here. What fib do you think I'm thinking about is going to be the sort of the first stop of whatever this counter trend rally is? Anyone? You guys have all actually, Ben, you haven't.
38.
It should be the 30.
There you go. Thank you. So we often say 38.2. I like to give it attribute it to a guy named Ray Burchett that I used to work with years ago. And I like to call it my first stop target. The guy's name's Ray Burchett, and we had a guy on the site years ago who always made fun of him and called him Ray Barbecue. And actually that resonated with the community. They loved that, and everybody loved calling it Ray Barbecue. I didn't think it was very respectful to Mr. Burchett, but I don't think he ever found out, so I don't think he's none the wiser. So my hunch is there's 38.2 off of this range here. Now it's actually interesting that that low is a little bit lower, but I still wouldn't be surprised. You can see those highs in there. There's that high. Actually, it's going to be tough just to even get back to that 38.2. So, V bottom, bounce. Often, and actually you can even see it over here. This trade right here, hell of a trade. I mean, there's the W. Down, up, down, breakout. Beautiful trade. Now we'd even say something like trend line. Remember I said earlier, if you're going to hunt that first W following the trend line break. So there's the trend line break. Okay, where the hell's the W? It's not there. It's not there. Well, that's sort of... Okay, here we go. Believe it or not, actually, I'm comfortable with that being the W breakout. And I don't know. I mean, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. That's the whole point of this crazy exercise. You guys learn shit to make money. I mean, would that have produced a half decent trade? I mean, let's just say hypothetically you were able to take profits right up at the top because you're such a badass. 4-to-1 risk reward. Not bad. Not bad. You know what's super cool? Check this out. We're going to do a foggy boggy. My knee-jerk reaction is to take partial profits at 2.618. And then probably, and then some more profits at 4.669. And unfortunately, I don't have all of these saved, so I have to do this manually. I wonder how the hell I do this. 4.669. And 2.618. Let's see where these. This is good old Foggenbaum and chaos theory. So actually that makes sense. You can see the market zipped up here. Look where it settled that candle. Look at that. 2.618 says at 33.67.69, and that candle finished right there. 33.77. I mean, Jesus, you can't get much closer than that. And then it just sat there, beep, went all the way down, then right back up, sat there, beep. Look at this one, opened up lower, came back up higher, then the next one came back down. I mean, I think the market respected that. Then the next one, 4.669. Look how we went zipping all the way above it, then came back down, then all the way back up. Look at that, close right up in there, pulled back. So, actually, don't really teach this, but let's see if you guys have been paying on this attention on the site. What's the next number in our chaos sequence?
8.6 something?
8.77.
8.77.
Yeah.
Ben, are you a mathematician?
I just worked that out myself, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, not bad. Just didn't quite get there, eh? That would have been a bit pie in the sky. Oh, well. Actually, it'd be interesting if we did foggy boggies off of this entire range. Let's see what happens when we do that just for fun. So I wonder where... Actually, that looks like a W in there, right? Maybe that was the original W. Let's try that one. Maybe like up there. Ooh. Yeah, basically the same levels, eh? I think the market really wanted up in here. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, it is what it is. Come back down against the bottom end of the range. I mean, it's not terrible. This is actually a great sign of a bottom. If you guys, anybody who wants to get some free shit out of this, this is really handy to know. Notice what's happening down here. You can see up top here, the sky's falling. I mean, this is pretty damn active, eh? But notice, look at, they're still selling. This market's still going down. But hey, where the hell did everybody go? It just basically dried up. And actually, you can kind of see, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it looks like, maybe let's see if we can change the colors here. Looks like the bulls are actually trying to wake up and take control of this market. Actually, Nick, you just did this in level 1, right? Can you see?
Yeah, that's this week.
Yeah, can you see the bulls? You see how that was a green bar there? That was much higher than these. And then this, you look how the green bars are ramping up here. So this is kind of cool. Can you see how the tide is trying to turn here? Especially this volume here recently. So probably if you put on an OBV study, it's probably showing that it's trying to turn back up here. So that's kind of cool. But great example. Can you guys see how active everybody is up here? And then all of a sudden down here, where the hell did everybody go? I mean, just if this thing's such a bear, why is nobody doing anything? I mean, not even buying or selling. So seems to me that the sellers have run out of ammunition there. And probably you're going to get a really nice buy signal. In fact, what do we call this buy signal if we move through that high there? What you could even what number is that? 193.634 million, I think. Yeah. M, whatever the hell M stands for. What do we call that if the market goes up through that, Nick?
That's a really good question.
Oh, caught napping.
I mean, it'd be a W, wouldn't it, though? Right?
Yeah, that's a volume impetus buy signal.
Impetus, that's the word I was looking for.
So keep an eye on that. That's actually really, really quite bullish, really. They always say volume leads price. And, look how far away the moving average is. What is this bounce back up here? Just back to the moving average. Oh, actually, that's not what I wanted. Back to the moving average. What are we talking about here? That's 127%. So my hunch is there's probably one of these institutional players do this all the time. They're actually manufacturing a double in here. So they're gonna. I think we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, you had mentioned it on one of the coins.
Yeah, I see this all over the bloody market here. So this level here, all the way up to this target level here, is probably going to be like a double. So sell half on a double, get yourself a risk-free trade, and it doesn't really matter what that happens. That's the way the professionals play the market. Might as well play with other people's money. It's easy. Have you guys been noticing how many doubles I've been banging out lately? It's getting pretty crazy. And I mean, it's so easy. I mean, why not play the market that way? It's other people's money. I don't give a fuck. You want to double it? Okay, fine. That goes another half. Well, so what? I did this just insane. And I got a funny feeling that they're going to do this in the stock market this summer and maybe into this fall. Get the public just absolutely insanely loaded up on the stocks, and then they fucking top the whole market out. I really don't like what I'm seeing for 2022. It could be one hell of an ugly year. You remember that Brenner? I think it was Brenner.
Benner, I think it is.
Yeah, that chart. You know what chart I'm talking about? Oh, Jesus. Don't like that at all. Okay, so are we having fun here? We getting any value out of this?
For sure.
Yeah? All right, tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
good.
talking out my ass. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I don't know. I'm having fun. All right, so let's throw that in the spreadsheet. Kaboom! There you go. Merry Christmas. I would say, now, tell me, and actually we didn't really do this. Usually we do it the other way around. So now that I've done the chart, I mean, it's a half decent location. It's not really, I mean, it's interesting how we can even use volume itself as an indicator. So we can even talk a little bit about volume divergences, trying to confirm. Not really any structure to work with. It's still basically a V bottom. That's the technical picture. Now, paint me a story. Why would I want to own this thing?
So you can, it is a governance platform or a governance token for the maker DAO. So you can vote on things, get rewards for that. It also helps collateralize DAI. Those are two of the main reasons.
So DAI, that's the stable coin thing?
Correct.
So I have to say I'm very worried about this whole stablecoin industry into 2022, 2023 based on what those politicians said today. I don't think you have to worry about it now. I don't think you have to worry about it through the summer. But I thought it was really interesting as a good anecdote. That's what the Tether people just did today. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with Tether, but they are up and down like a whore's drawers. So I guess Phoenix has closed the spread now between... what was it? BTC USD. That chart I just showed you right there, that is the spread between Phoenix and other sites. I think it's a stamp. And I like to use it as sort of a proxy on how people are feeling about Tether, because Tether was Phoenix based. It's interesting hearing a lot of people talking about how I think Chico, he believes that Tether's pretty closely tied to Binance as well, eh? So, just be forewarned, everybody. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with this marker and, it's DAI and it's stable coins and all that stuff, but just be forewarned. This game is not over by a long shot. Don't make any assumptions about any of this shit, Okay. So, again, why would I own this thing? Do you like these guys? Marker, are they coming out with new products, new services?
I mean, they're definitely one of the DeFi kind of OGs. If I was going to buy a borrowing and lending platform, I believe in Aave a little more than Maker. I'm not much into voting and governance and DAOs and stuff like that. So I personally wouldn't probably invest to own and participate in this protocol, but lots of people do.
You're big on the Polygon, is it? Is that the one?
I mean, like? I'm big on Polygon just because you can do stuff on the Ethereum blockchain for cheap. When you don't have a huge stack, it's tough to play on ETH a lot of times.
Yeah, and this the marker that's not. I'm not that smart at this stuff, guys. Sorry.
So Maker is on Ethereum.
Okay.
And so it's not, as far as I know, it's not on Polygon.
Oh, okay. I mean, we don't need to bring in the Polygon. Derek, what's your feeling? What do you think?
I mean, it's not something I would invest in. like you said, there may be a trade is formulating, so that's a thing. But I think my thoughts on the market in general is that I typically would like to trade stuff that I would also like to invest in, right?
Yeah.
And I base that on my time and that type of thing. Like,
Yep.
I want to be invested in something and trade it as well, right? If I believe in the project, that type of thing. So
So do
personally,
you guys?
I'm not really interested in this, but going back to the DAI side, and that what makes me think about kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like, when I do take profit, I would take it into like DAI or stablecoin because it provides a little bit more interest as well by just holding DAI. So it could be a risk, but I'm more interested in the other side rather than sort of maker.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Any thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, going back to I guess the Tether, like story as well. Like, make a DAO is a bit more of an open book, from my understanding. I think Tether, there's been some issues with, people wanting to kind of see where these things get printed and what's backing them up.
I agree. What I actually heard from them was they like the pure technology plays. I didn't hear anybody shit on Bitcoin. Didn't hear anybody shit on Ethereum.
Well, I mean, the first part of the whole conversation was these are I don't think they call them commodities, but they basically said that they weren't concerned about those two specifically. They specifically mentioned their names, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they said that they weren't sort of in the same grouping as everything else.
Well,
So,
I would be really worried about, especially these centralized, decentralized stories. That scares the hell out of me, And not scares the hell out of me like, but like, I really don't want people to lose a lot of money, and they're just, it's rug pulls, and this space is notorious for its criminal behavior. I hate to say it, folks. It's not what you want to hear, but I've seen a lot of just horrifically criminal behavior. My Twitter, the reason why I changed the image on my Twitter page is this guy really resonated with me last cycle. I mean, he really resonated with me. This guy is the face of crypto. And yet, the worst part about crypto is people don't want to admit that that's the face of crypto. But unless you're dealing like Peter what's his name? Man, with the cool hairdo? What's that guy's name? I mean, he's so fucking boss. And the way he was talking Bitcoin with the congressman today, I mean, you could just tell he was just like, I'm the man, I'm talking decentralization, I'm talking Bitcoin, I'm talking the future. I mean, you could just tell. But then there's cocksuckers like this that are kind of like the urchins, and they sort of sneak underneath the radar screen, and they're the ones that actually the regulators are most worried about in this space. So, just understand that, people. It sucks. That's the one thing that really sucks about capitalism. Those guys are always trying to figure out the edge to steal your money from you. Okay, sorry, rant, blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's keep moving this forward. I guess what did I do with the spreadsheet? Around here somewhere. Over here. I think it's over here. Yeah, here we are. So, our vote. My vote is... Problem is that I'm probably in Luna, right? So is that like a Luna competitor?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're both in the DeFi space, but like Luna to me has a lot more attractive protocols with Anchor and Mirror and stuff like that.
Okay. Gotta turn the fan on, guys. Yeah, it's getting hot in here again. Sorry.
it seems to me like Luna is probably a little bit more fully featured than Maker is in terms of different services they offer. Seem like they offer more services than Maker does.
So what I would say is my interpretation is, like I heard someone say, I like Aave better, or and I don't know whether it's the same or not, but there's I mean, I suppose you could probably throw Pancake in this, right? But Pancake is centralized. Is that the correct way to say this, or is that incorrect?
So I mean, Pancake is mainly just swapping. Where
Okay.
Maker, you're not. I mean, you can still stake coins and do that type of stuff on Pancake Swap, but I think of Pancake Swap more of like a Uniswap competitor,
Okay.
and Maker as more of like an Aave competitor.
Okay, I'll figure this out. Long and short of it here, I'm gonna say, whoops, don't want to get rid of your writing. I hope I didn't wipe out somebody. If I did, my apologies. Did I do that? Okay, there we go. You know, I'm just gonna say, no bottom, but range tradeable. That's probably the way I would look at it. Not interested. FA not interested. TA decent. All right, fair enough. Not that interested. And Ben, we always wait. Ben's leaves his judgment till the end. What does he say? Not interested yet. Okay, so maybe something down the road will interest him. Okay, next coin, CEL. Where do you think we should look at this one? Okay, so we got Trading View sitting there in the background, but we also had that fun other site. What did I do with it? Doesn't look like it's up there. Is this it? Nope, darn. Oh, I hate when I do this when I'm doing the videos. I'll just like lose a web page. Over here? Hey, there we go. Yay. All right. CEL. So where do you think we should look at this one? Obviously versus USD. So there's Coin Paprika. Don't know whether you're familiar with that. Coin Market Cap. That's pretty.
Yeah, let's
cool.
stick with the market cap. It seems like
Okay.
they probably maybe they consolidate all the data together or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to get a hold of here in the US. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I think-
market cap might be the best.
Yeah.
Okay. So before I get into the TA, tell me a story. Why would I be interested in this Celsius?
I don't think you would.
No,
You,
okay.
you just went on a rant about how you don't like centralized, decentralized crypto.
That's what this
And
is.
this is a centralized.
And guess who it's backed by?
Oh
you.
no! Is it getting worse?
Tether.
Oh boy. Is Simon what's his face still involved in all that? Oh, we don't hear too much about him anymore, eh?
Simon? I'm not. it's not
Bank
pretty
to the
tough.
Future. Do you guys remember Bank to the Future?
I know the name, but I didn't know the
They
person
actually,
behind
Phoenix got hacked mysteriously, and Bank to the Future came and saved them. And I might argue that actually Bank to the Future saved the whole Bitcoin story and the cryptocurrency story there. And they gave everybody who had their accounts hacked at Phoenix special tokens. You know, people that wrote it out, they did okay. I think they made pretty good return. Simon Dixon. I think that's his name. Simon Dixon. I'm almost positive that's his name. He's sort of one of these, and now what I'm seeing is there's like a whole generation of crypto people that you people in the public you never hear of anymore. These people are just sort of disappearing. I mean, this guy probably owns half of the fucking Bitcoins out there in the world. Does that guy look familiar at all to any of you?
Yeah, he does look familiar in that. I see him, but yeah.
Retirementplanb.com. That's interesting. February 3rd, 2021. I do know that basically he was an old hedge fund manager in London, and when Bitcoin came around, he just fucking went all in Bitcoin. So the guy's got to be worth like $1 trillion now. And he did most of the financing, and he saved Phoenix. If it wasn't for this guy, I think the Bitcoin story would have actually collapsed. So that's fascinating. Anyway, not quite sure how we got on that.
So Celsius is another lending platform. You can sort of stake crypto there, or I guess give them your crypto, give you return on your crypto or return on your stable coins.
And it's centralized, eh?
Yes, as far as I can tell, it's they will give you up to 8% for different USDC or whatever
Which
various cryptos you can stake or keep them. It's a lending platform. So what they do is, and I was wondering, well, how do they make money? So the way they make money, I guess, is they do more of like traditional lending, and I guess they give you or give the user 80% of whatever they would sort of make otherwise, right? So that's how they're able to give those returns to people that put their coins or give them their crypto. But the one thing that I think at least I agree as well, could be a possible risk is that one of like the major investors is Tether Limited. So they have two major investors, Tether Limited and Gummy. I guess it's a Asian investment company that I've been seeing more. I don't know too much about them, but I know as we've been looking at projects, I keep seeing their name coming up. They're invested in a lot of different projects.
mm,
So, we'll take that for what it's worth. So.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you have trouble stomaching Tether, then I would imagine this is probably something you probably want to avoid. I mean, TA wise, I mean, how many coins are out? Is there a bazillion, gazillion, jazillion? I suppose if it's in the top whatever list, there must be. Any comments?
So supply. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's about a little over 400 million out there right now.
All right, so you can't say the thing's light.
And it is capped too. So the cap is 700 million.
All right,
So they have a little over half in circulation, or under half. Yeah.
I suppose
Over half in circulation.
if you were just trading ranges, actually, we probably want to keep that. So let's do another one. Because this isn't our saved platform, so I'm just going to try and ad lib here. Let's see if I can pull this off. 0.38. Oops. 0.38. 38.2. 0.618. What's my favorite fib? Let's see if anybody can help me. 0.786. 86. I was hoping Ben would chime in there. Link of Arcanator is 88.6. I always like to keep an eye on that. Okay, so let's go take a look and see if we can see some levels here. All right, so if you were trading this, we have this low, these low, that low, that low. So clearly there's some sort of trading range here. Horizontal support and resistance, I think, probably defines a range. So you can see 38.2. It stopped there a little bit, and then puked out. Good example of that fight. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days fighting at that 38.2, then lost it. Down into good old Mountain Man level. Look at that, nice little tag there, 78.6. Candle body lows to trade location. I always loved that, but that might have been a tough. I don't know whether you would have gotten a fill there or not, but that was definitely the level. Mr. YouTube writing the user's manual on how to trade. Check that out. Our level 1 instructor, Grim, he always places his orders to buy like right at that original breakout level right there on his setups. Just so sick. And you can see, look at that. Boop, think, filled. Away we go. Isn't that awful? So, great analogy. In fact, I used to work with this one prop guy, and he was about to lose his job. And the prop firm boss said, look, you can keep your job if you can show me that you can buy against bottom ends of ranges. So he had to show his boss, or else he would have lost his job, that he could actually have the balls and step in and buy this break right there. So that's the way professional pit traders trade. Is they actually buy that break right there. And the only way he could show that he could keep his job, the only way he could is he had to show his boss the actual order fill of the order one tick below that buying. Takes balls of steel to do that, my friends. Anyway, quite often those kind of strategies make a lot of money. It's just it's anxiety-wise very, very difficult. So you can see like this level here, you had to have the balls to step in, and these are professional pit traders, right? You had to step in and buy that and just sit and ride this shit out, and then woohoo, back in the money you go. Tough trade though, tough trade. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not easy. So, long and short of this, they backed up the market into the bottom of the trading range. I like to call this zone 61.8 to 78.6 the reload zone. So, what a surprise. And actually interesting too, remember our conversation just a moment ago, market's making lower lows, which means that the bears are in control, and yet on the push to new lows, you notice there's a divergence in the selling volume. So we can even use volume itself. Remember last week we were using indicators to identify divergence. Here you can see on this bar, actually the selling volume is only there. Versus this bar, the selling volume's up there. So clearly the bears are losing steam here. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, not really much for a guy like me to do. Unfortunately, when it's just V bottom, V top like this is a tough trade. I do see lots of WE action in here. This is also a really good way for you to just look at the chart and let the chart tell you what's happening. All right? Just let the chart tell you. You tell me, do you see more W's or more M's on this chart? It's kind of a tough one because, of course, I have this blocked off, so it's kind of hard to see. But I kind of see more W's. I mean, I see, W kind of here, and then W, down here, and then a big W. This is a W. Then W's in here, and W's in here, and then, of course, this is a big W here. And then, of course, that's a big W through there. I don't know, I see a lot of W's. So this kind of tells me this is still a bull market. And then on the opposite side, and you can do this at any time, just look at a chart. Do we see a lot of M's? Well, interestingly enough, the tops are like V-top. I guess this was ME. Yeah, that's a little bit ME. But V-top. Actually, that's a V-top to a new high there. V-top. So we just did all those W's, and then we look at the tops, and they're all V's. That, to me, actually says this is still a market pointing up, not down. As soon as, it's interesting that they took the market to new highs here, right? If, however, we come over and now that we start M'ing out, well, now every M down the road is going to be a new selling setup. But I don't see that right now. What I see is them just backing it up into previous support. And if you like this name, it's not really something I'd be interested in. But, if they can pull this thing back down into the bottom and start doing W's, kind of like this stuff, well, you might have a trade there. And because that was a new high there, really, the downtrend line could be broken fairly easily. Food for thought. Like I said, technically speaking, probably not something I would be interested in. I hate chasing markets like this. But maybe down the road, I do one setup called it's a trend continuation setup. I've talked too much about this, We got to keep moving on here. You know what? If anything, what we need to do, because we're already an hour in, we've only done 2 coins. So we've got 8 coins to do. I think what we have to do, guys, is after 5 minutes, somebody's got to go, hey, Brian, okay. You want to ring a bell, you want to bark at me. There's no way we're going to get them all done here if I talk this much. Sorry. So
I can handle that if you need somebody.
All right, there you go. Thank you for volunteering. I've asked Nick if he could tell me to shut up, and he's like, I'll be more than happy to do that, Brian. More than happy. Okay. So, I don't know. It's kind of a mess. Not really anything I'd be interested in. I don't even know if that's even a chart that's even worth putting on there. This is different, right? This is Celsius CEL. Why do these things get so big in market cap? That's what I don't understand.
So with this one, each week they buy back the Celsius tokens
Okay.
and because you earn interest weekly and it
Mm.
gets paid into your account weekly. And so people are loaning money through the app using their crypto as collateral.
Okay.
And then they're also earning interest. And so that's where Derek mentioned about the 80% goes back to the community. And I think that's what was pretty revolutionary about Celsius, is that they were the first that didn't come through with this, you're earning 80% a month, which I think like BitConnect and different projects like that were doing that. And they just wanted to make it more sustainable. So you'll notice that the interest rates are reasonable.
Okay, well, I'm just going to simply say I see a trading range, kind of like I just showed you. They backed it up against the bottom end of the range. And unfortunately, I don't really see a hell of a lot else. V-bottoms, V-tops. Maybe if we came back down and put in a polite little W here, I might find a trade. But right now, we're basically... actually, Derek, what do we say Hogue would say about taking a trade right here?
I don't recall.
Okay. Hey, at least you're honest. I appreciate that. Hogue hated people who took trades at the POC. This is called the POC, or the point of control on the volume profile. He hated people that would take trades here. You either want to sell above value or you want to buy below value, but don't take a fucking trade right at the POC. Because basically the market could go either direction, no problem. So I thought that's kind of fun, interesting too. So I think I'll probably leave the commentary at that. Keep in mind too, everybody watching on YouTube, we're trying our best. I'm just asking these guys, what would you say the collective... Mind you, Derek, you said you've been watching crypto since 2017?
Yes.
So we'll give you 4 years. Nick, how long you been watching?
6 months.
6 months.
I'm a baby.
And Ben, how about you?
Yeah, about 2017.
Okay, so we got collectively our fundamental house is about maybe 5 to 10 years if we're lucky experience. So I'm gonna say that I like this as more of like just 3 guys on the street. What's your opinion? And we might be completely off here, guys, but we're having fun. You guys having fun? You having fun?
Always. We keep coming back.
Okay, awesome, excellent. Actually, Ben even came back getting DC too.
He's coming back like 3-4 times tonight.
Damn straight. Cool. So, was interested in using the product. FA, not sure. TA, decent. Cool. Not interested. Great project. Just wish it had more. It was more accessible. Meaning that you're not, because you're in the States, you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah, so one of the things that the founder, Alex Mashinsky, really wanted is that he didn't want to put it on any exchange that was involved in any nefarious behavior, like wash trading or manipulating the markets.
Yeah.
And so it was very rigid on who he let the coin go onto. And so that means that pretty much most exchanges, it couldn't be listed. So there's a lot of decentralized exchanges that it's on, or just very, very small ones that I can't get access to. So
Interesting. Huh. I think I'm still able, like I saw it on Trex there, so I guess I'm still able to buy it. But I'm up here in Canada. I guess you U.S. Trexers, maybe you
it
can't.
might be back. It might be on Trex now.
Hey, look at that! You can buy it in tethers too.
Well, I think one thing was that you couldn't earn, like, U.S. Residents can use the product, but they can't earn like the sell token. They can't be given the sell token, because I think that's what he was paying out. So they have to get, I want to say they have to get paid out in like USDC or something like that, whatever the interest is.
So I think there's 2 different options. You can either get paid in the token you deposit, or you get paid in the sell token with a bonus if you get the sell token.
Right, but U.S. citizens can't get the sell token. Is that?
Yeah, so they get whatever they deposited then.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I think.
All right. Well, we definitely could talk about it a little bit more. You know? I mean, I'm not negative on it. It's just I think a lot of, like Kevin and I were talking about this. We were so busy in the stock market the past year or so, we kind of lost touch with this whole DeFi. So it's going to take me time to just get back up to speed with all this. Okay, Tezos XTZ, beg your pardon. I think I remember I was trying to buy some of this recently. Isn't this one that Chico kind of likes?
I'm not sure. I know they've been out. Oh, go ahead. You were gonna say something there?
No, go ahead.
It came out in 2017, and they had some issues with the owners. I guess the founders. They were a husband and a wife, and then I guess another guy that were the founders. And then they had some sort of fallout, and there was an ICO, and then I guess they were taking a long time to distribute the coins, and then so they had some drama with the SEC, and they got, or I don't know if it's the SEC, but they basically had a settlement, like a $25 million settlement.
Wow.
And then so I think they got rid of the guy. His last name was Gevers. They got rid of him, or he gracefully bowed out, or they paid him whatever they did. And I guess ever since then it's sort of been, it's been doing okay, right? And you can stake. It's called baking. It's one of those kind of those like governance type deals where you can vote and all that type of stuff.
Right on.
The as far as I know, like they are building out a pretty diverse ecosystem in terms of like DeFi and NFTs, just like everybody else. But I mean, once again, I guess I don't know enough about it to say like what are the projects that are actually building on it, right? I mean, they say that all this stuff is coming, kind of like a lot of other projects, but I can't necessarily speak to other projects that are actually building on it. So.
All right. Anything you want to add here, Nick or Ben?
No, I mean it's one of those Ethereum competitors. It's a proof of stake blockchain. It's got some pros and cons to go with some of the rest of them. The people who use it really like it. A lot of people. I mean, I don't use it. I would much rather just stick around Ethereum, but a lot of people that use it like it.
All right. Yeah, I seem to remember it was down on our list. Yeah, here we are. So you can see I was buying. Actually, I just missed my sell half on a double order. Jerks. So it's basically right back to, well, it's a little bit above where I bought it. In fact, that actually looks like a little W versus Bitcoin. I do a lot of these fun little trades versus Bitcoin on Trex and stuff. Excuse me. Versus dollar? Well, it's not a bad location. If anything, I actually, it looks like a train wreck, but I actually don't mind the way it's so steep, because then at least we'll break the downtrend line fairly quickly here. So yeah, you can see they're in the process of doing that. First W on the other side of the trend line. Well, there it is, folks. It's sitting right in front of your face. So,
is there a quick explanation? I know we haven't gotten into that in class yet. I think it's level 2, but why that downward trend line with the 2 highs is important to get to the other side of?
Well, it's a sort of, I would just simply say it's a studying the rally peaks as signs of supply and demand exhaustion are excellent cues as to what's the best way to describe this. Ironically enough, a guy I used to work with, he would say, the only thing that matters on a price chart is this point right here and this point right here. It's the only thing that matters. Everything else is totally irrelevant. Where this point right here, where demand overwhelms supply, and this point right here, where supply overwhelmed demand. Now, what I've noticed is if you draw a trend line off of these peaks, they are visual references specifically of where supply overwhelmed demand repeatedly. And of course, market structure in itself is that more sort of fractal kind of reversal of the the universe in a weird sort of way. Suppose we could probably also get into triangles. I remember in the Daily Brief I talked recently about how all patterns, like if you do that fib spiral, it sort of looks something like that. It's a terrible rendition of it. But you know what I'm going at? Where everything is a triangle within a triangle within a triangle within a triangle. So this was moving up, and you could argue that the double top breakdown is a triangle, and it's a reversal. So energy now is pointing down. And what ends up happening with trend lines, it's kind of odd, is that they become almost like visually what's the word I'm looking for? Reinforcing, revalidating, because what ends up happening is a lot of people see this same line, and a lot of people visually go, okay, well, if it comes up to this trend line, I'm gonna better, just back off and let's just see what happens. And so what ends up happening is as we push up against and breaking the previous trend, people just back off and they go, okay, well, now I want to wait. And if anything, what you need to see is, like, think of this as almost like a big negative energy kind of vortex here that everybody in the world has written on their charts. So what ends up happening is, ironically enough, you can get like counter trend rallies like down here off of the low, and the market's pushing back up, but just as it needs actually the validation that indeed I am a bull right here, that's when everybody looks at it and goes, okay, I gotta back off and let's just see what happens here, kind of thing. And then the original trend just exerts itself. When ironically enough, if this thing's really a bull, it's actually at this point right here where the bull has to step up and take over. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know whether that helps answer the question. Is there like a textbook definition that you have to wait for the W, and the reason why? I've never seen it in 30 fucking years. I mean, like, geez, it took me forever just to clue into this myself. You don't see this taught anywhere. Nobody teaches, like that volume impetus concept. I've never seen anybody teach that anywhere, ever. So, I mean, I'm just a weirdo. I don't know why I've sort of figured this shit out. But what I've found is that now that the market has punched through this, now it's actually this was a huge event. This was a huge karmic event right here. But ironically enough, this isn't victory. This is kind of like, if you're on the battlefield and the two lines are coming together and one line punches through the other line. Ironically enough, that's not the victory in the war. What you have to do at that point is then consolidate those gains, i.e., we've broken the enemy's lines, now we're going to consolidate and get ready to push higher. What often happens is there's so much energy expended in the breakout of the enemy line that once you get on the other side of the line, there's no more energy, and it just pukes out. It goes right back into its bear. I see that happen so often, but I don't know. There's probably somebody that's done some sort of doctoral dissertation on this and come up with the actual mathematics of the fractals, but I'm not familiar myself.
Okay, no, I appreciate it. I know that you bring it up enough that I know, at least anecdotally, empirically, as you've been trading, you've seen significance to it. So I was just curious if there was concrete reasons or, but yeah, that helped. Thanks.
All right. Well, what the hell?
We're also at 5 minutes.
Next. I didn't even get started. This one actually I like, because look at that. It's got a fucking W working. Excuse my French. It's in a reload zone. So, just by definition, because it's in this reload zone, I could start anti-nibbling. If I had a bullish momentum divergence in here, oh, look at that. You can see the bullish momentum divergence is trying to confirm. Hasn't confirmed yet. So I'd like to see that confirm first. And then And that means that this MACD's got to get up through that high. Then on that event, then I want to hunt a W. And away we go. And I see this across the board in altcoins and crypto. The really good ones, they're setting this up. It's just happening over and over and over and over. Thank heavens, we're fine. I mean, gee whiz, I spent about 3 or 4 months all through this going, fuck, oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Now we finally have cleaned all these markets up and we can actually start getting interested again. So this is good. So, and as you saw, I was actually buying that last cycle. I missed my double just by a hair. But I'm going to say, had I gotten filled last cycle, I would be reloading. But I still have my my bags. Had I gotten filled last cycle, and we'll say SHOD, sell half on a double, I would be reloading. But since I didn't, I'm still sitting on my original bag, waiting for my double level. Bought the hype, have a free position from listing FA decent, TA decent. All right, not interested. All right, so who's that? That's Nick says fuck you.
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
I'd say it nicer than that, but yeah.
Okay. All right, and might try and get a free position. All right. Are you grabbing yourself again? Remember that last week?
Always.
Always. Okay. Awesome. Okay, there you go. I mean, there's your 2 cents. Ironically enough, actually, this one's got a pretty good reading from us. We're not like, fuck it, I'm not interested. So that's good. Okay, actually hung in there a little bit better. Nick gave us the 5-minute warning just a few minutes ago, so let's move on. This one, Algo, I'm kind of bummed at because I like this story. But as you can see, it's not on tracks. They kicked it off last cycle. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh. Because I had to go and buy this on Binance. Because fucking Trex kicked it off. And then, of course, probably, I guess, Trex relisted again. Jerks. But I had, like, these are all the coins that I've been loading up on for a while. And actually, I had this one over here. And I was trading it away, having lots of fun. You can see sold half on a double last cycle. I was reloading. And then, we got told that the Canadians are being told to get out of Binance. So Seward might have just liquidated this one. But I've always liked this story. Ironically enough, I don't mind the FA. I don't mind the story. I don't know whether I'd really consider this actually a good location. This is versus Bitcoin, though. We should probably look at it versus dollar. Where are we here? Interesting that it's back on Trex, though, because maybe I can get Seward just to move it over to Trex from Binance. But he probably just blew it out. It's not the end of the world either way. It's just money. But oh well. I'm kind of bummed at the whole Binance Canada, the way that's going, but I suppose got to roll with the punches. Where should we look at this, gentlemen? What do you think is probably the best place to look at this?
Maybe we can always go back to Binance. Binance has got some good history usually with that tether chart.
Sorry, I screwed that up.
I mean, that's an okay amount of history too if we want to stay there. At least gets us back to 2020.
All right, so wow, great analogy of good old Foggenbaum. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise why we stopped where we stopped up here. Unfortunately, yeah, same sort of thing that I saw versus the Bitcoin chart, though, is this thing's still kind of expensive. So usually I find that what ends up happening with these Foggenbaums, actually, yeah, this is what happened here. So usually what I find what happens is they go zooming up, and if we get rejected at 2.618, then usually we come slamming right back down to the original breakout. And of course, Ben, we call that movie.
Back down to the breakout. That's a work-up check.
There you go. Merry Christmas. Thank you. So, I think this is kind of like the pancake. Remember the other last week we were kind of looking at it, is this one there's value high. It was a big bull, and hey, you can see it came back to value high and said, no, I'm still a bull, rock on. No, I'm still a bull. This is getting awfully tired. This looks really tired. And if that's the case, I don't know where else these guys are traded. Like I said, Binance, that kind of worried me, so I just had to get out because I couldn't trade this before. But I suppose, boom. This thing could work its way all the way right back down to the bottom here, guys. So be prepared for that. As well, too, they did break this. I don't know whether they did or not. Maybe they didn't. No. Oh yeah, they did. So, the fact that this low couldn't hold means that somebody's still sitting on this thing, pressing it lower. And I suppose if you're a bull, what you're gonna need to see now is maybe a head and shoulders kind of action in here. But the fact that it broke to that new low, that's not technically a good sign. And you saw I did that AB. CD. Ironically enough, 1 high, 2 highs, 3 highs. I could see a bot short trade. I don't really like to short altcoins though. It's kind of screwy market. These things can jump up really quickly, but nonetheless, I wouldn't fault somebody if they were short this thing here. And it's probably going to be a while before I would get interested in on the buy side. And like I said, I had to sell my Binance coins. Brian likes his 78.6, and also too, we can start thinking look left. So that's a key low there. That's probably going to be tested down there, and also down in here. So notice how that's right up against the point of control. This is I'm from Missouri. I mean, if you really are a bull and really bullish, I mean, we got to see some W's here. This thing's got to form out some sort of base. And I just, if you have brand new money, you're like, hey, I think I'll buy this. I think there's probably better fish to fry. The odds, the odds of this move down to here, or this move back up to here against these highs, I'd say that's basically a coin toss. It's 50-50. So probably not something I'd be interested in trading here. And get down into this area and start Wing out. I'll probably get interested. Okay, so that's the TA picture from my perspective. What do we think, gentlemen? I'm just going to say not interested in Binance. Might buy on Trex on a bottom. Interested when lower FA. Founder, MIT professor, big corporations. Why that? Yeah, God, fucking, I remember Trex totally delisted. It pissed me off to no end. I hate it on this. TA for location. Sorry?
The founder is basically, I guess he won the equivalent of what's the Nobel Peace Prize for computing.
Right on.
And then they have, Circle, which I guess is USDC, has decided to use, I guess, Algorand for their USDC coin going forward. And then there's a couple other large corporations behind it. So I think, at least for me, fundamental analysis is, decent or good.
I always like this story. So I'm probably going to regret having to get out of this damn thing. Well, let's see. If Stewart hasn't sold it, maybe I'll just move it over to Trex.
Plus, I think it's proof of stake, and I think you get rewards for just holding it, right? So all wallets get rewards as opposed to, all the wallets get rewards as far as I understand. So.
All right. And Ben says too rich for his blood. But if it came down, would you be interested, or is this something that just doesn't appeal to you?
If I got the good trade location, good indicator confirmation, and some structure, jump in.
Hey, geez, this guy's learning. Nice answer. Well said. All right. Okay, moving on. Next on the hit list, who's up?
Thorchain, which it
Thor Chain.
the symbol is actually rune, RUNE.
All right.
But this is like one of the three that are coming up here that I'm very bullish on fundamentally. Rune is a blockchain that allows cross-chain swaps. So normally, if you want to trade like Bitcoin on Ethereum, you need to wrap it to wrap Bitcoin, and then you can interact with like Uniswap or something to swap. Well, with Thorchain, you can natively swap Bitcoin to Ethereum to Litecoin, like cross-chain swaps. Because I don't know exactly how they do the liquidity to be able to facilitate that, but yeah, you can actually swap crypto for crypto across blockchains, which I think is just an incredibly needed utility going forward with crypto.
Okay.
It's also done very well price-wise since last year.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, I showed you those charts about Verge and all that, right? Just try and remember this. The longer the channel, the bigger the run.
Yeah, and there is some more history too. I have a friend who bought it at a penny back in 2019.
Right on. Where are these?
Obviously
lows?
didn't buy too much and didn't stay in it all the way up, but
Yeah, I know. I was when I was selling Doge up top there, people were telling me, man, they had millions of Doge down in like the 20, 30, 40, 50 sats, and unfortunately they just let it all go. Anyway, that happens. One reason why I really love the sell half on a double strategy is you force yourself to stay long. I mean, that's one hell of a dump, no doubt about it. If anything, this kind of looks like a big bear A, B, C, D. What I kind of see is something like that. So that means we want to go boom, boom. And I saw this earlier, but I kind of didn't want to go down this road. Because the problem is when you try and do log ABCDs, it never works. So you have to draw it manually, which is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to have to eyeball this. Sorry, folks. Boom, boom. And this will go here to here. And there to boom, 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 boom. Yeah, right about there. Well, it's not bad. So, that might have been the capitulation dump event low there. Could be. You want to get really good at that. That's quite often log scale ABCDs and log scale harmonic, or not harmonic, but heads and shoulders. They actually work really, really well. But you can't rely on TradingView to draw this line because it gets all skewed. You have to eyeball it. It's a pain in the butt. But anyway. Notice how we did have that low. That might have been in there. Might have. Probably also, too, kind of like what I told you about Grimm earlier. Remember, he likes to buy his breakouts, and then he actually likes to hunt the original breakout low and place his order right there because he's such a son of a bitch. So, if you do that, actually interesting, too, because this would totally be down his wheelhouse. He's a big Viking fan and all that. He figures he's gonna die in Valhalla, right, and all that kind of stuff. So this is probably right down his alley, right? Ruins and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Is that silly?
I mean, it is called Thorchain. So
hey, there you go. Score. This got Grimm written all over it. So that trade right there, to me, that looks like a Grimm trade if I've ever seen one. That is so him. And you watching on YouTube, you want to take notes, whatever. How did that go, Ben? Remember we said if the market's melting down and you want to try and figure out where the hell maybe the market's going to stop going down, we do what? 2 words?
Look left.
Oh, nicely said. And sure enough, I mean, fuck, look at that. That's crazy ass shit. Do you guys want to? I mean, do you want to do this kind of trading? It's up to you guys. I mean, could you get to the point where your plan says, I'm going to have my bid in there, and you get in there like a boss, and you're buying right off of that tag? That's why we got to get you guys to the point. I don't know whether you can do that. A, B, C, D, look left, key pivot low, below the POC. I mean, you want to wait for that event to happen and just let it happen. And okay, if this really is the low, then the bulls should step in, which they did. And then, what the hell, man? I'm just gonna buy the next W that comes following that. I mean, there it is. And then also too, what 3-bar pattern do we call this? Boom, boom, boom. Let's who should we ask? Derek. We haven't asked you in a while. What do we call that 3-bar pattern right there? Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know.
Oh man, alive!
I'm falling off on the candlestick patterns.
It looks like a building.
Yeah,
the Empire.
Upside down.
Empire.
That's right.
Empire.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've heard it before, but I don't quite look for them. I don't recognize them, I guess.
Yeah. Well, anyway, how about the W? Can you see the W?
I can see the W here.
It's a pretty good looking W. Not bad. So that's encouraging. It's not a bad area to be thinking about stepping in. The only problem I have with this is, let's see, let's do our trend line thinking. If there's a bull, we want to see a W on the other side of the trend line. Ooh, looks like we got that too. It's not a bad idea. How about momentum? Hey, look at that. We got big. Look at that honking bull div in there. Ooh, sexalicious. Probably the way I would look at this is this thing's basically sitting right on the right. It's how do you say this? It's being served to you on a platter. And so what I would say is the easiest way for you to validate whether this thing's for real is let's just watch. And I would just simply say, maybe go down to like a 4-hour. And any kind of bullish market structure that comes in here, I would say it's probably worth taking a shot from my perspective. Probably too, where does that bull shot come in? Notice reload zone. Look how that W formed right in that frickin' reload zone there, right? So, I mean, that's what usually happens with this stuff. It just makes you sick. So, where's the next one likely? Maybe notice that reload zone right along that trend line. Right down in here. So maybe keep your eyes peeled if you get any kind of bullish fractal, those empires, railroad tracks, double bottoms, nice tails. There's Grimm's level off of his setup we talked about right off the bottom end of the range. Any kind of bullish action right down in here might be really interesting. So, anyway, not a bad idea. Something to think about. Don't think it's a good idea to come in and chase that. That looks a little dangerous there. As now we're down on the 4-hour. You can kind of see this looks like a head and shoulders here. So my hunch is this thing is kind of projecting down into here anyway. So I don't think there's any hurry. But you get pullbacks down into this area. You get nice W's. It's probably worth taking a good look at. Not a bad chart. I get the impression from you guys you actually don't mind the idea. You don't mind the story.
Well, I don't. I don't know how Ben or Derek feel.
Oh, okay.
No, I like the story. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're more clued in these days, so it's good to see someone excited about a new project. And like you said, it's been a really good performer over the last year. So.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really big on interoperability. I'm big on things that can do things across blockchains because I think it's going to be a big thing in the future. So I'm really, really bullish on it. And selfishly, getting into crypto really late after these things take off, I'm kind of like, obviously I'd rather have up only, we can all get rich, but I kind of like the fact that we had this a month ago because it kind of gives me a second opportunity to get into things that ran before I knew about them. And so,
yeah, well, and that's the market for you, right? Is you guys are just going to have to learn. There will always be another bull. There will always be another entry. There will always be another bottom. And people, they just, especially, like Nick, you've just gotten into this space, and probably you remember this, Derek, when you were in 2017 Bend. When you just get into it, you're kind of like, oh my God, what is this? Oh my God, is it just going straight up? Oh, it's euphoric. And I actually made reference in one of the free videos that I did. I was maybe the weekend one where I actually made reference to the first cryptocurrency I bought was back in like 2013. And I literally was, I think it was UTC. I think that was the name of it. And I on the video I had showed, I don't know whether you guys remember me talking about that, but it was kind of funny. I put the chart up, and I had said that, we went the 2013 bull. I had said that the little shitcoin that I bought, it hit its peak here, and then through the bear, it went all the way back down to nothing, and then it actually just got back to the level that I bought it. When that happened, I don't know. Was I talking to you guys when I did this, or was that somebody else?
I think you were. I want to say that was like the second or third week of this.
All right. So, and then somebody, Oscar, smartass, goes, "Holy shit! Beamish just said that he bought the top of the market once." And I was like, "Thanks, Oscar. Appreciate that." But when I first came into crypto, yes, the very first coin, just for the record, Oscar, that I bought, basically, I came in and bought the top of the market because I was getting used to the market just like all of you. And I'm sure, you guys all... I wouldn't even be surprised if everybody has to go through one full cycle just to understand this game. I used to in my brokerage house, when I first started working in the brokerage industry, the older brokers in the office, they wouldn't even talk to me. I mean, they were so fucking arrogant, right? And they were just like, "Man, I don't give a shit what the hell you think." And one guy goes, I'm kind of like, why are these guys acting this way? This is not fair, right? And, this guy goes to me, "You haven't been through a whole cycle. You don't know what the hell this stuff looks like. Your opinion doesn't really mean anything." So there you go. Anyway, okay, let's keep moving this thing forward. Thor, I think we're giving a big thumbs up on Thor, though. Hey, I got the impression we kind of like this thing.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean, swapping is definitely something that's needed in the space. So, I mean,
that's what she said.
I knew I was gonna get it for that
one. You knew that one was coming.
Sometimes it's too late, right? You think about, oh well.
Hey, everybody needs some good swapping, right? And especially good married couples. Whatever. Okay, good TA and FA. I like it, and I didn't bust your chops. Terrible potty jokes this go round, bad. I got somebody else.
I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, not bad. I might even go buy some of that Thor. That's an interesting story. So that's good to see. Okay, FTX. And how are we doing, gentlemen? Are we still feeling the love? Is Brian talking too much?
No, you're good.
How do we do?
The ticker for this is FTT.
Okay.
It's a weird one. I'm not. But.
Hey, should we go back over here and try this again? We didn't do this site. Let's go back over here. FTT. Oh boy, look at all this. Which one do you think we should look at? Look at them all. Oh my goodness.
Let's just do the second one. The dollar. Yeah, that one.
All right. Well, it just looks like just about everything else in this sort of DeFi space right now, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're the only one on the call here who can buy this.
Because you guys down in the States, eh?
Yeah, so one of those exchange coins, right? Exchange tokens, right?
It's Solana's main derivatives exchange. They've been building out like crazy though. They've got about 50 to 100 like tokenized stocks you can buy as well now, and
that's
as well as other crypto.
I gotta say, for the record, that is gonna kill these fuckers. This is what the politicians are shitting their pants over. Why are you crypto people doing this? This is terrible. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You think that fucking Goldman Sachs and Merrill Lynch's and all those guys are going to just let you come along and eat your fucking lunch? I don't understand why crypto is being so arrogant like this. If crypto would just stay in crypto and mind their own business, you go into the stock market and you say, all right, yeah, we're going to take over your whole fucking business model, Mr. Goldman Sachs. Nothing you can do about it. Come on.
I guess the real question is, do they offer 100x leverage?
Well, we heard the little girl there today. She was like, oh my goodness, 100x, these people are going to go broke. I mean, I mean, when have you ever heard an American regulator give a shit about whether somebody goes broke or not?
Well, they want that. They want us to give the money to them, though.
Exactly.
Where we're not doing it in this
exactly,
case. So
yeah. I'm really disappointed in this crypto space, and I'm going to catch a lot of shit from this. I know I am. But like Sjord the other day was like, hey, look, Luna, now you can trade all of the stock market on Luna. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You're just asking for trouble. This is exactly what the politicians... Keep in mind, the politicians are just puppets. They just do what they're told to say. It's the corporations that run the U.S. political system. You're playing with fire here. I don't get it. And crypto doesn't need to do this. Oh well.
I will say, regardless of the potential ramifications of having stocks on their exchange, I do think that this is one of the tokens that I'm more bullish on over the next 5 years. They've just exploded with users and growth and volume. And interestingly enough, they've partnered, I think, with baseball, Major League Baseball. They own the rights to the Miami Heat NBA arena, so it's FTX Arena.
Yeah. For whatever it's worth, that is a major sell signal in anything.
I think Tom Brady just invested and has equity in FTX as of yesterday. Like they're doing all sorts of stuff in the U.S., but we can't touch it.
I saw a headline: Tom Brady, great football player, can't fucking trade his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, I think he tweeted about Bitcoin right about the top.
Oh goodness! Oh man. I mean, I made a joke the other day on Twitter. If you think Klaus is working for you on your behalf, if you think Prince Charles is actually thinking about you as an individual when he talks about his global reset, then... If you think Gene Simmons is an expert in cryptocurrencies, you should probably just put your money away, because you're being played. It's really, really dangerous what I see. And no offense to Mr. Brady, great football player, hate him, total cocksucker. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so enough said. But I do not think it would be a good idea for you to be taking investment advice from these people. That's very, very dangerous. And if anything, like a really good example is Quest. Quest, and you just go through the litany. Anytime a company gets to the size where they have enough money to throw things at like sports stadiums to rename them, which takes ridiculous amounts of money, and it's a total waste of money. But when they get to that stage, usually the trade's over. And really, when I look at the chart like this, to me, the trade's over. So it makes perfect sense Mr. Brady is investing. Now, what did I say about volume here? I mean, does that look like the bulls are ramping up? I don't see that.
It does look like sellers might be getting a little exhausted, but yeah.
I see everybody's getting exhausted.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that's not enough to get bullish. What I see is, and this is the worst part about it, is Mr. Brady doesn't understand everybody is falling asleep here. And he might be sitting on a stock or in this asset that does nothing for a while here. So I do like, there's a good point that the sellers are sort of running out of steam. What you really need to see, like I showed you with that other one, is you really need to see the buyers start Wing out here kind of stuff. I'd love to see that. So I don't
know if you heard the bell, but that's my new 5-minute sound.
My soft-boiled eggs are done, so I gotta get going here. No, there's no W here yet. I suppose, and you guys, isn't that interesting? Mr. Brady can invest, but all of you watching his football team, you're not allowed to invest.
1%er.
That's not good. That's really bad.
But you are allowed to participate in the FTX, like ETH Bull, and Bitcoin Bull through like Poloniex and other exchanges. Is that correct?
I don't
here in the
know.
US.
So
I've been able to purchase an
I will
Eagle
say,
or Polonia X.
I think FTX has a US version,
they
but
do.
once again, it's very limited.
It's like a
to see.
Binance.us where it's way trimmed down. Um,
Hmm,
but yeah, it is there. You're right.
fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I mean, I think the like fundamentally, and or at least the product is a really nice product if you can get the full featured one. But I think for US, participants, it's like I said, it's way dumbed down, and it didn't seem worth it to actually even get an account on there or anything. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, well, I suppose that's encouraging. A little bit of a potential div, hasn't confirmed yet. Really look at this train wreck. In fact, Julian. In fact, we should tomorrow on the Daily Brief is Julian's day, right? So let's quiz Julian on this FTX on his interpretation of what RSI is telling him. I got a funny feeling he probably does not like the look of that RSI study. I don't know. Anyway, see what happens. I mean, just the fact that you said that Tom Brady's involved means that I have to opt out. Like I said, I'm what would I say? I'm a Doug Flutie fan, if you know Doug Flutie references. You guys don't follow football, do you?
Oh, I know Doug Flutie. He played in the CFL for a while.
Yeah, damn straight.
Yeah,
They brought him down,
yeah.
and they brought him down. He played for a season and a half for Buffalo, and it was just an absolute train wreck. But
he had a good run in the NFL too, though.
yeah, like I remember JoJo and we used to go to Buffalo Bill games when Jim Kelly was quarterback, Thurman Thomas was running back, James Lofton was the star wide receiver. Bruce Smith was the terror on the defensive line. So anybody who's a Buffalo Bills fan, that's how long ago I go back on the Bills.
I'm sorry you went through that pain of 5 seasons in a row or so.
Four, yeah.
4.
What was really interesting was I actually lived down in the Caribbean that first year when they missed the Scott Norwood field goal. That was a remarkable time. Yeah, many moons ago. And then it was almost like it was embarrassing. Like the years following, like Dallas blew them out and Washington blew them out. And it's just like, just go away. You're done.
They look good again now, though. They've gotten good.
Yeah, well, their new quarterback, the little hotshot, he's got a little pistol arm, and of course now. Now New England isn't such a pain in the butt. But anyway, we're talking crypto here. Let's not talk football. Like I said, I'm not. Actually, that son of a bitch didn't he won the fucking the damn Super Bowl last year. I hate that guy. Just somebody shoot him. No. That's not the best thing to say. So fine, go win your Super Bowls and stuff like that. But when it comes to trading, no. All right, where am I gonna put this in the spreadsheet? Spreadsheet. Tastes great. So I'm gonna have to say. I think that this is, what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Simple FX. Any guys trade Simple FX? And what else was there? There was a couple of them. Remember the CFD sites? You could trade stocks in Simple FX. They did that, and it was crypto. So I guess that doesn't ring a bell to any of you guys?
no.
Yeah.
I'm a baby. Probably
So
before my time.
that was an example of it, and there was a couple others of these that all got shut down by the regulators.
Well, and to be fair, they are definitely crypto first. They just also have a small selection of stocks at this point.
Yeah, nice product FA, nice not TA, not exciting. Very bullish long term, can't buy any in the US. Isn't that fascinating? I'll be keeping my eye on it. Possible picks and shovels play.
I wonder, is it on any of the swaps, like Uniswap? Or...
Yeah, Geo in chat was saying that it's on Uniswap, which I thought was weird because it runs on Solana. But they must have an ERC20 equivalent as well.
Actually, Geo, my official word is I'm from Missouri. I think I've said that a few times now. So that is my official line right now. I'll believe that we're back in the bull swing, and really we should. The end of June, beginning of July, maybe the first or second week of July, we should kick it. So I'm like right now I'm from Missouri. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another FU move in here just to piss people off. But I think we're within probably a couple weeks of us going into that summer silly season. So just FYI, Mr. Geo. I'm with Richard Hart. Richard Hart is Richard happy? Is he crying? If he's crying, then we're all toast. So I can't remember the last time I saw him crying. Last time I asked him about 6-8 months ago, he was pretty happy. He was feeling pretty good. So yeah, whatever. If Richard's still happy, then we should all still be happy. Do you guys know who Richard Hart is? I'm talking to Geo over there on YouTube. Sorry,
Hexcoin guy.
Yeah, he's one of the core crypto guys. I remember the last top of the market, though. He went on social media and he started crying, going, "Oh, you broke my Bitcoin, you fuckers!" And he was right. At least he could read the charts. He knew when the party was over, and he was all pissed off. Okay, let's keep moving forward here. I suppose we're getting pretty close to the top of the hour. Huobi token HT. Wow, there's a mouthful. What would we use this thing for?
For trading on Huobi.
Is it like one of these?
It's an
Binance
exchange
kind of coins?
token. Yeah.
So is it used to like reduce fees and stuff?
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't use Huobi, so I'm not positive, but I think it is. I think it helps with fees.
Just for the record, aside from my personal hatred of the gentleman, I'm gonna just simply say we won't have a buy on this FTX until we can W out on the other side of this trend line over here. That kind of stuff. So just FYI, I mean, I don't see anything there, but I didn't actually say that. I wanted to say that for the record. Okay, so do we look at this Huobi issue? Is it one of these coins that we kind of pass on analysis-wise?
I mean, it's a real coin. It fluctuates.
Yeah, they do a 20% buyback every looks like every quarter, and they burn them. So
That's
cool.
So it's POS, POW? No, weird. What did I do with that damn thing?
I guess they also get early access to different IEOs on the platform. So.
Oh boy.
What's another benefit?
I heard somebody say that Huobi was in trouble recently. Anybody hear anything about that? Doesn't ring a bell? Ooh, that's better. This is better than that other one. So, if that means anything. RSI, probably a really good analogy of our, huge top here. Something along those lines. So you can see RSI is probably going to just bump up against here. I don't know whether you can see this study here. It's kind of a funny color. Let's do a dark color maybe. Is that a little better? There we go. That's better. All right. So M top, yuck. Broke this uptrend line. Another M here, kind of waffling. Our rule about RSI is if we see a W down here, then if you're a bear, then probably best just to cool your jets. It's not really a buy signal, just more like there's a little bit of upside pressure here. So, and usually what ends up happening is you see this first line. Can't really see it, but I guess there's a second line somewhere in there, and then I guess the third one is there. So this, unfortunately, is usually the last. This is like the noob. They come in and sell this down here. That breakdown right there. And then the darn thing usually goes in W. So what this is telling me right now is if you're a bear, you better just cool your jets. This is not the time. You know what this chart here reminds me of the people who were bearish of Bitcoin when it was down at like $3,000-$4,000 there in like 2018, 2019. And you know, they're just trying to squeeze out that last, you know, $500 on the short side. And you just keep pushing. And what did we say is the natural fib level that markets should just bounce to? Does anybody remember what that is?
The 38.2.
Right, so 38.2 is right there. I could easily see this thing jump right back up into that area. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
That'd be almost your free double.
Yeah, sell half on a double kind of thing, eh? You know, I mean, the RSI here just looks like a train wreck, so I wouldn't touch that. And I suppose also, too, somebody's saying that this is an exchange, Chinese exchange, centrally controlled token, right? So, what do you got here? Geo is laughing at me. LOL, boomer.
No. Boomer retracted a message, but then he put it back down, the Chinese exchange token one. That's what he had put up above.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with acknowledging that I'm an old man, you know, and I look at this stuff, you know, kind of old man, jaundiced eye kind of thing. I'll totally acknowledge that. As I said, like, I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. I want to see evidence first before I believe anybody in this world. Sucks, but anyway. So, having said that, I wouldn't necessarily call this a buy, but what I would say is that, to me, just visually, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Like I said, you know, that other one is kind of emming out right here, and it's just doing that, but I could see one more sort of as this thing just did here. Maybe we have some buying pressure there, but not really much. You know, this to me looks like it's too late to short. Don't even think about shorting. If you're long, for fuck's sakes, don't sell now. You've just gone through all the torture. But it's probably still a little bit early to be like, holy shit, time to get bullish. And if anything, that kind of makes sense. Because I think what's going to happen now over the next probably couple of weeks is, you know, this whole sort of centralized exchanges, especially the way the regulators down in the States were acting and talking, that's going to reverberate for a little bit. And that's probably going to sort of keep these guys from doing their crazy pancake swap stuff. Would these guys be a food coin kind of issuer?
I don't think I would personally put them in that camp, but I'm not an expert in Howdy.
All right. Just that centrally controlled, you know, digital currency kind of, you know, not pancake swap kind of stuff, but nonetheless, a little bit suspect.
Binance has a exchange token, and they decided to do one too. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. So then, if Howdy wanted to do a pancake swap, they would create their pancake swap to use their token, kind of like the way Binance uses their on-site token. Is that sort of the same way? I don't know. I'm trying to figure.
I guess if they decide to do that, but I don't know if that's in their plans or not.
Right.
I just think they made a token when Binance made a token, so they made a token. It was kind of like a follow the leader type thing.
Yeah. But so nobody here heard anything bad about Howdy recently going under or being closed down or anything. I thought I saw something. No? All right. Okay. So what I'm just gonna simply say, you know, if you're interested in this location, okay. Do I have any divergence here on things like RSI, like indicator of confirmation that you should be bullish? Not really. Got little signs here from RSI that maybe the bears ought to cool their jets, but that's about it. You might see things like probably a MACD momentum divergence. You might see that developing, but it's probably still a bit early. And as I said there a minute ago, what I kind of see happening here is probably going to turn into some sort of like head and shoulders like that. So it'll be a while before this is a rip-roaring, crazy-ass bull market again. Could you come in here and maybe bottom fish a little bit? You'd have to be pretty light on your toes. If we do continue emming out and breaking down, there's no reason to look left. We'll probably come all the way back down into these lows. And if this whole sort of craze of DeFi and stuff kind of slows down because the regulators start really, kind of, hey, we got to do something about this. And the centralized tokens and stuff come under scrutiny. Of course, this also, too, is kind of a football in China because China's acting kind of weird about crypto right now, right? So that's in there, too, eh?
And I think you are right in that it was in the news recently, and that China did prohibit Chinese users from trading on Huobi using derivatives.
Yeah. So be careful here, folks, okay? One thing I really don't like about totalitarian dictatorships is they can come along and just fuck you up the ass so at their leisure. So just be aware of that. Is the only thing I'll say finally is Jack Ma actually surfaced again? Has anybody actually seen him again?
Yeah, I think he's been seen at some point.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
everybody, if you want, the great part about it is we actually now have a nice living reference. Well, maybe he's alive, maybe not. But a contextual reference from today's society about how totalitarian dictatorships work. Jack Ma is a perfect example. So, if you want to take your chance in that kind of environment, right on. Rock on, own it, whatever. Brian, I'm pretty loudmouth, pretty opinionated. And unfortunately, in an environment like China, I probably wouldn't last very long. I'd be like, hey, that cartoon character is now a dictator? Oh, he's dead. Oh, that was fun. All right, so there's your picture. I mean, nothing really to get too excited about. And as you heard, the timer went off, so I should shut the hell up. So, what are the team's consensus here? So the team said not interested. FA, just an exchange token. TA, not interested. Okay. And that's from Derek, right? Derek, you're first, aren't you? Who was first? Yeah, Derek. Nick says not interested. Is that you up there? Yeah, I guess so.
Yep, that is me.
And another not interested. All right, well, it's clean sweep. I guess I'll say no reason. Okay. Luna's finally made the list. I think this thing's a piece of shit and you should sell it into the ground. What?
You just lost a partner.
Good old Fjord. Actually, the irony of it all is Luna actually looks exactly like at least a half a dozen of these names. They all kind of look the same. So, yeah, what a surprise. Big run-up. Reinventing the wheel. And I remember when this came out, fucking Fjord was just like, I just gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. I do remember when it broke out, I think Fjord first sort of kind of got wind of it. I think sort of like in this area and here. And, bless his heart, I think he just stepped in. I think I would probably, me personally, would have liked to have seen this breakout here, right up in here, and then the consolidation, and then the acceptance higher. But, hindsight being 2020, oh my God, I totally picked the bottom. I'm just the best, right? Well, clearly there is reload zones, but I don't think any of us at TRI were really concentrating too closely through here. But I would argue there's probably your killer trade window in there. 61.8 never did get down to 78.6. If anything, that's a good sign in itself too, because what that shows is there's a lot of buying interest in this thing here. So when I chat with Fjord, looking back in hindsight, I basically say I think that the asset was a buy between about 30 and 60 cents, somewhere in that area. So, boom! This is why you guys are trading this space. But also, too, I think this is a really good lesson that a lot of new ideas, they get launched at the very beginning of the year, right at the end of the previous tax law selling year and the beginning of New Year's. And I've noticed this, folks. Most of the money I see made in crypto, usually the ideas start out. Yeah, there we go. Usually they start out right around this time of year, right? And actually, we have an expression on the site. Let's see if you can finish it. Who should I quiz here? Let's quiz. I don't think Tara was Novigratz's baby. I think he liked the idea. Trust me, I've gotten an earful of Luna here. Do Kwon, right? Isn't that the guy's name? Do Kwon? Kwon Do or something like that? I think that's his name. But I know Novogratz likes it, but I don't know whether it was his story. Anyway, long and short of it, here is, I think there was your buy, and oh my God, the whole thing goes crazy. But also remember too, right? You guys, especially the three of you with me here. How does it go? Buy when it
snows.
Good.
Sell when it goes.
And goes.
And then sell when it
goes.
I mean, I think there's so many stories that basically it goes this way. So this is a beautiful analogy of the capitalist process. And there were tons of these stories. And Sjord's done very well. He loaded up quite a bit for his own personal accounts as well. So congratulations, Sjord. Good to see him knock a cover off the ball. If anything, this also too, though, and I don't know whether, does this have the replay function on it? Don't think so, this, and I'd actually like to see this on TradingView because it's important that you guys get this. And I don't think enough people do. And I guarantee you they're probably, I tell you, it's kind of funny, but when I was at the last prop firm that I was at, and I said that I was going to go off and try and save the world and all this damn cryptocurrency nonsense, man, they got so angry at me, and they were just like, Brian, they don't listen. Just get back to your fucking post and get trading. And I got to say, to a certain degree, they're right. Because I keep saying the same things over and over and over, and nobody ever listens to me. Including, business partners. You have to look at an asset like that, and you just have to say, maybe it's a great asset. Maybe they got fucking awesome fundamentals, but don't chase. You're just not allowed to chase. You just somehow... You have to just put yourself on pause. And the interesting thing is when you talk to people through this, of course, the coin it could do no wrong. And, of course, fucking DeFi, everybody's making fortunes on DeFi and having a great old time and it's the future and stuff like that. And, I come out and I go, but, and shut up, B-man, and all that shit. Oh, fucking hate it. It's almost, I'll tell you, it almost got me to the point here where I'm almost like, okay, my job's done. I've tried as hard as I could, and now it's time for me to ride off into the sunset. And that's fine. If that's the case, then so be it. But, it was great seeing, it is great seeing the market collapse. It's fucking awesome, man. No, it's not great. I don't want to see that people, their fortunes get ruined. But Nick, right, you're brand new to this, so you don't understand that this is actually what's supposed to happen. This is cliche. How cliche this really was. So just the point being that you somehow have to teach yourself not to chase that. And it was really interesting to watch this story develop because in essence it was sort of like I got the impression that this thing just grew too far too fast. It just got way ahead of itself. It was running even though it really was just kind of learning how to walk. And it turns out there was a hell of a big vulnerability in their code. And they got smushed. But what you have to understand is that this actually is very normal. This is what happens. So, what I would say is there's a reason why I follow reload zones. And here we are. The interesting thing is I don't think the fundamental story is really... I don't think it's changed too much. Other than, if anything now, at least the company and the entity can go, well, somebody took a serious run at us. And we survived. What do you think, Nick? Do you want to say something there?
I mean, one, I think that's a great foggy target for taking profits. Just looking at that at $21 there.
Isn't it? Ridiculous.
No, I think the fundamentals have even gotten a little better. Like they've been building out more. They released a protocol where you're quote unquote guaranteed $20 on your stable, or 20% on your stable coins. I know they have the mirror protocol, which you're not a fan of, that has the synthetics and the stocks and stuff. I just read about one, I think it's called Pylon, which is going to be coming out there, and it's a play where you can deposit money. Let's say you deposit $1,000 and you can get 10% interest. Well, they will take that interest and they will pay your recurring subscription. So they'll pay your Netflix. You deposit $100, you get free Netflix throughout the year, and then you can take your $100 back at the end of the year.
Sweet.
And so like they're doing some pretty innovative stuff. I don't think Pylon's live yet. I'm definitely not advocating going and buying it. It's going to be a tiny market cap shitcoin, but I love the Terra ecosystem. It's built out on Solana, ETH. I think they've built into Cosmos. They've got the interoperability play, which I'm big on. So I like them a lot.
Yeah. For whatever it's worth, like seeing how bullish Sjord was, I just said, look I'll put myself on a buy program. And I think very much like Grim sort of tells you, we'll come in location and we'll throw 1% at it. Then we'll let, a bottom come in, and on that event, I threw another 1%. And should this bottom out here, in fact, actually, I could probably even justify buying another 1% in here. So I don't mind accumulating, but, you do see this profile. Believe it or not, we've seen a few coins like this. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nice little FU that comes along and does something like that. This is crypto. It's notorious for this kind of behavior. So just be prepared, right? Don't be shocked if that happened. 88.6 that's Kvark's level. He loves that level. Maybe that MIR or mirror or whatever you call it, I would actually prefer, and it would even be better in my opinion, if regulators actually came out and said, look, if there's a moratorium, no fucking DeFi stocks. Just don't do it. Leave it alone. You want to go and fucking do every kind of insurance contract out there in the world, there's a huge opportunity. Why are these kids going after the stock market? Well, I don't think that's a good idea at all. Anyway. And then, of course, these guys, somebody did find a vulnerability. So, are you trying to tell me that there are no more vulnerabilities ever? I don't think so. In fact, I would even say the scandal that will be the scandal that breaks and we're all talking about, I would actually say it's happening right now. It's just that we don't know about it. We'll know about it after the scandal hits and everybody loses their money. But I would actually argue the scandal, whatever it is, that's going to ultimately be our end. It's actually happening as we speak right now. So I don't know if it's in this thing or not. What I would say is I do like the fact that they've taken this sort of air out of the market, and a lot of these names, we've looked at them. I think there's plenty of room to move back to the upside to make some money, and I think Nick's even suggested that maybe we can get like a sell half on a double kind of trade here and get some free coin just on nothing more than just a tag of the trend line again. So 877, the original market structure failure level. Often what will happen is markets will M out, then they'll come back and then they'll kiss this underside level because institutional players are not allowed to sell down markets. They can't really get involved in this. They see the big M and they just simply say, okay, we'll wait for the counter trend rally. They'll get some super insane bullish momentum, maybe some news about a new product or something like that. And that will generate a lot of retail buying interest. And the guys that want to get out at this original structural failure level, they'll work their sell orders into that buying interest. And then that way they can walk away nice and quietly. 877 as well. You can see a gazillion miles away above value. There's also a little bit of a node building up here, so that's probably resistance unto itself. And of course, that's the original market structure top up there. So I think there's probably a trade. I'm going to try and see if I can get myself some free Luna here over the summer. But once this trade window is over, oh boy, and considering what I'm hearing out of those regulators down south, I do not like the sound of what 2022, 2023 is going to look like here in crypto. At the same time, too, I wouldn't be surprised if, very much like that 13-14 bull, we have one more big horrendous blow-off top here into the end of the year. And then that marks the top, and we spend a couple of years just shitting on this space again. So get ready, folks. All right, so I think we'll probably leave the Luna at that. That's pretty straightforward. And, a lot of the coins. So we're seeing a lot of reoccurring themes here. Probably close, Could this bump around here for a couple more weeks before it gets going? Yeah, I think so. By August, could we see a rally up into this area? Yeah, I think so. So it's the same sort of thing. I'm from Missouri. Show me. I'm not quite ready to pound the table. But, I'm feeling like we're getting closer to a turn here. Day by day, step by step. So we'll say, I'm going to say accumulating, Swords, baby. Interested, TFA, solid building things. TA would look for position at 88.6. Oh, all the way down there, really like ecosystem, interpretability, want to use it. Not interested. Oh, then the next one.
I got ahead of myself. Sorry.
All right, might take a nanny nibble on this. All right, good. All right, so we perked Ben's interest here today. Cool. Okay, we're about 20 minutes over time. Sorry, everyone, for talking too much. LEO will wind up here. What's the skinny? Do we like it? Do we hate it? Why do we want to own this thing?
I mean, you can probably just do the chart on this one. This is another exchange token for Bitfinex to...
Oh, is it? It's Bitfinex's exchange token?
Mm-hmm. I don't know much about it, but I assume it's similar to the others.
Yeah, I don't usually like it when I see this kind of funny... we used to call this block trading. And maybe, if it's an exchange token, that would make sense because it's highly, manipulated, for lack of a better word. I don't know whether it would be something that I'd even be the slightest bit interested in, but I suppose technically somewhere down there's probably a reload zone down in here somewhere. So interesting. Yep, Mountain Man. Mountain Man got tagged here a couple times. Doink, bounce. This is actually not a good sign. Remember I had said earlier there was that coin that was putting in lots of W's, and then the tops were V's, and then it would W, and the top was a V. So that inherently is a bullish chart. Well, this is the exact opposite. So you can see this top up here, very well-defined M. So you can see, look at that. What are we supposed to think if you ever see the market smiling at you?
Do not take candy from it and get in the back of its van.
Oh, that's bad.
Look out below.
All right. So, and you can see no W, no W. We got this cute little W. Remember, that was right off the Mountain Man tag. So, if you were pretty slick on your laurels, maybe you could have grabbed that. I don't know. That's a tough one. Big jump up in that. Uh-oh. More M's. So, this is where you actually try and listen to the market. The market's actually trying to talk to you. It's saying, don't go and kill those people. Be a good person. No, isn't that how that went? You guys talk about M's and backs of vans and shit? No. Now, this market is kind of saying, I'm not overly happy. I got a lot of M action. If I'm a bull, I want to see W's, up, down, up, higher, low, breakout. I don't know whether that made it. That doesn't quite qualify. But higher, even down here. Down, up, down, breakout. Excuse me. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I'm running out of steam here. Everyone, sorry. So, M's, I suppose you could argue maybe this is a nice harmonic developing. That would be boom, boom, boom. 43, man, not really. Something up in that area. We might have something like this developing, but I doubt it. But that would be kind of like a bat. But if that did develop, ironically enough, that rally up there and any kind of failure there would be a wicked sell signal. But anyway, point I just would make here is that I don't like how these M's are developing. This is bearishly pointing. Bearish, 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 right? Pointing down. This is another lower high. If this is a bull, then you want to see it up through the top there. So, as it stands right now, there wouldn't really be too much for me to get too excited about here. And, I would prefer to actually see a lower low there. So then that way we can create some sort of bull divergence in momentum. Man, I don't really see anything to get too excited about here either. It's kind of just sideways. Probably the best I would say right now, there's your top end of the range, there is your bottom end of the range, and we're probably going to play ping pong for the next little while. So, there you go. Merry Christmas. You guys are saying this is Phoenix's sort of centralized token. Is it like reduced commissions and stuff through that kind of thing?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure, Ben or Derek, if you know anything.
No, I don't know anything about it. Other than it's Finex exchange coin. I don't see any. I'm looking at the sort of a description for it on. It doesn't say too much other than that. It's the coin that they issued when they were, I guess, trying to repay people for the hack. I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess
that's it. Remember, I think I made reference to that earlier.
Yeah, you made reference to it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the way I'm looking at all this is there was this huge boom in these exchange coins, right? And I get the impression that a lot of these, just because it was an exchange coin, it got dragged higher with the whole space. That's the impression that I'm getting here. So, yeah, we'll see. Is it something I'd be interested in? I don't have an account at Phoenix, so there wouldn't be any reason why I would be interested in this. Okay, well, we got an extra half hour in there. Sorry, guys. A little talky too muchy. But what the hell? Did you enjoy yourselves?
Yeah, I got my what did I learn from my trading journal in the morning.
Oh, right on. Did you actually pick up something today you hadn't heard before?
Well, I picked up a lot, but I liked your kind of the two reverse examples where you can kind of just look as a whole with like the W's versus M's and where the peaks and if they're V's or not. I kind of like that. Just it's not really any specific like location or any of that type of stuff, but it's good to just see kind of how it's trended.
Yeah, just
time.
Listen to the market.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, is just to actually sit back and just what is the market actually trying to say?
Yeah, I like
it. Cool. So let's grab this YouTube link. Maybe you can hold off on eating the peanuts until we're done the broadcast. I don't know whether you're aware. Somebody is crackling. We'll put this YouTube broadcast here. I will give myself a pat on the back for being relatively optimistic last week. Way to go, Nick. You suck, Derek. And way to go, Ben.
How was well, I was cautious, right?
Derek's not happy.
Hold on. I was cautious. How's that bad?
I just play with you. I just we just had optimistic, bullish, cautious, and bearish. So
Yeah, we moved
It's all
basically
good,
moved
it's all
sideways
good.
all week, right? Pretty much.
Sure, okay, it's all good. I'm just being still. I'm tired. I've been talking for 2.5 hours, and I probably just said something stupid. Sorry. I'm gonna remain optimistic. I don't think we're gonna crap out here. I don't think we're gonna really rock it either. But I'm optimistic. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that stance. Nick, well, you've kind of turned a little bit negative here, have you?
Yeah, I don't feel that way often. I feel like a lot of people are turning bullish right now.
And that's a little too early, eh?
I don't know. Just
Okay.
It might not be. I could be dead wrong. I could be the dumb one next week.
Derek, you're gonna keep the same vote as you had last week,
Yes.
and so that's more just like you're kind of just neutral.
Yeah. That's what I feel is more neutral as
Okay.
opposed to. I mean, I don't feel negative, but I don't feel anything
Okay.
necessarily positive happening.
Maybe
either.
I wonder. Maybe what we'll do for neutral. Why don't we put you as 0? Maybe why don't we do a 0 for neutral? How does that sound?
Sounds good.
And then that way you won't be accused of being bearish, even though you're not. You were just
No, definitely not
neutral.
bearish. Not bearish.
All right, neutral. All right, we'll go with that. And then bringing up the pack, Ben's got the biggest column here. Ooh, is that a 2?
And the biggest call.
All right, good for you.
We'll see how well this ages, but
There we
a
go.
little bit of short-term bullish action maybe.
Damn straight. All right, cool. I like it. Excellent. Right on. Okay, so what do you think, guys? Did you have fun tonight?
Always.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Hope
Yeah,
you guys over
great.
there on YouTube had some fun. We got lots of posts from somebody named GEO. Looks like he's having some fun. Boomer over there, looks like you were posting a bit, so hope you guys enjoyed that. And as I've said to you, and it's in the description, anybody who's watching this later on, we're just 4 guys having some fun. These guys aren't getting anything out of this. They're doing it totally out of the goodness of their hearts. So thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate that. And if you do find any kind of value in this and you'd like to help us out, I'd like to get a little slot of land going in Decentraland. And I threw on a little Ethereum wallet link. If you feel like helping us getting that booth going, that's how you can help us out and show us that you like the broadcast. All right, guys, thank you so much for your participation. I guess we'll see you again. Same bad time, same bad channel. Great working with all 3 of you. And have yourselves a great week. And, of course, we'll see you on the site. And I guess we got Baby Powder Report with Julian tomorrow morning. So, all right, everybody. Well, who did we? We had who took us out last week? I think, Derek, you took us out last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I went last week.
All right, so Nick, you up for the challenge?
I can try.
All right, so hope you enjoyed the broadcast. PMA for the win. Don't take no wooden nickels. And the only thing left for us to say at this point is...
Bye for now.